Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 9 of the COVID cast. This is Henry Hushke back here for our new edition today, the Sunday survey, where we're going to be talking with some people from across the globe about their experience with the COVID-19 outbreak. First today, we are going to kick it on over to the Big Apple to talk with my sister and her wife about the situation in New York City. All right, so this is my sister here, my sister Julia, in New York City, calling in. So, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Henry?
I'm doing well. All's well in Traverse City right now. How's the pause going? Or can you explain the pause? What's going on right now?
Yeah, so I don't think the pause has officially gone into effect yet. I think it starts tonight at 8 p.m. But I don't think it's going to change much because people are only supposed to go out for, they can go out for exercise, but then they're only supposed to go out for groceries and medicine. And I think that's what people have kind of been
Already
doing
started.
a couple days. Yeah.
Okay. What have you been doing to pass the time?
Well, we've been working from home, so that's, taking up time. And then been going out and exercising, taking long walks in Central Park, keeping distance from other people. Yeah. And then I guess reading. That's what I've been doing.
What are you reading right now?
I am reading Romantic Outlaws, The Extraordinary Lives of Mary Wollstonecraft and Her Daughter, Mary Shelley by Charlotte Gordon. And I am reading A Conspiracy in Belgravia by Sherry Thomas, which is the second book in like a Lady Sherlock Holmes series.
All right. Any fun plans today?
Well, we cleaned the apartment.
Ooh. Anything else?
Good times. And then we also went for a long walk and went into Midtown, walked through like Rockefeller Plaza and, went to see Times Square, and they're all pretty abandoned, which is good. People are staying inside.
Sounds good.
We'll be staying inside and won't be going back.
Well, is the weather as nice there as it is here? Because it is an absolutely beautiful day here.
It is. It's beautiful, but a little bit cold. But yeah, beautiful.
Getting some final sun. It's good.
Yeah, before the lockdown / pause.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for talking to me today, Julia. Hope everything's going well. I hope you stay safe, stay healthy. Anything
Thanks, Henry.
else?
Thanks for having me on the cast.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, so thanks to my sister for coming on today, being my first guest on this Survey Sunday. Next up, I went to my sister's in-laws, Jose and Janine, who have thankfully agreed to come on the cast today from Spain. So let's see what's happening in Spain.
Hello, Henry.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Ça va?
Your family?
We're doing well right now. My Tim, my dad is at the ER right now. So
Okay.
yeah, well, he's asleep right now. He worked the night shift, but he's
Okay.
working right now. But we're doing well.
Uh-huh. Tu veux parler français?
Ah oui, je peux parler français.
Ah, très bien. Ah, je comprends tout.
Salut.
Salut, ça va?
Ça va bien. Ça va?
Bien. Hein?
Ça va?
Très bien, oui.
Oui.
Très bien.
Mais on est confiné à la maison. On ne peut pas sortir.
Oui.
Tu comprends confiné?
Je ne sais pas.
Confiné,
Non.
ça veut dire
Confined.
qu'on doit rester à la maison.
Oui,
confinés.
oui, maintenant nous sommes restés à la maison maintenant, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oui, on est obligés, confinés.
Pas en Michigan maintenant, mais en New York et Californie et Illinois, oui.
Hein.
Euh,
Mais toi, tu restes.
oui,
Oh
oui,
non,
je reste
oui,
maintenant, oui.
oui. Ah, d'accord. Mais volontairement.
Oui, oui,
Ah,
euh,
d'accord.
oui.
Très bien.
Comment vous passez le temps maintenant?
Et bon, le matin d'abord, on se lève, on vit un rythme tranquille.
Ah oui, oui, très bien.
Alors le matin d'abord, le petit déjeuner, tranquille. Et après, moi je regarde
Les nouvelles.
les news on Internet.
Ah oui, oui.
So I check, as you, the job rankings, graphics every day.
Oh, merci. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice. I look also other pages that they give us some information. I read the Spanish newspaper about the news here.
Oui.
Then for 1 hour we do some exercise at home.
I've heard about the exercises. What are you doing today?
Oh, today I don't know how you say, some gymnastic that we have in some pictures for doing some exercises at home. And then usually we live in a building that is 7 floors, 7
oui.
levels, okay? And I used to go to the stairs of the building, and we go up and down for 3 or 4 times.
Oui, et moi, on a regardé une vidéo
Oui.
de gymnastique
Oui, oui, je comprends.
sur mon iPad pendant 1 heure.
Oui.
Oui, pendant 1 heure. Après la douche.
Shower.
After a shower, oui.
La douche et après préparer le manger, préparer le repas.
How has the situation, I guess, what's the Spanish government? What's the situation right now? What are the rules?
Well, the rules is nobody can get out of his house. So right now you see a person in the street. All the streets are empty, except you can go out to buy for food for the supermarket. You need some food. You can go out if you need some from the pharmacy, some medicine. Then you can go. Okay, you can go out. You have to go to hospital to see you have a person that needs some old person that needs some help for you. Then you can go, but if not, you cannot go. So you cannot go for walk. You cannot go for doing exercise outside. Of course, you cannot go to the beach. You cannot go, and this is very very controlled because there are a lot of police, and they put already many fines for that. So it's completely forbidden by law.
Okay.
So the police follows you. You go out, and if you go out, you can only go one person. You cannot go two persons two persons together.
Okay.
And this has been like this for already 1 week, since last weekend.
Okay. Where exactly in Spain are you right now?
We're in our hometown in Gijón, in Asturias.
In Gijón, okay.
At the Atlantic side, yeah.
And how is Asturias done? Have there been a lot of cases?
In Spain, it's not so bad. In Spain, the worst is in Madrid. Madrid is almost almost half of the problem of the cases are concentrated in the Madrid area. Then there are some also in Catalonia, in the Barcelona area. Some also in the Basque Country. There are the main regions in Madrid, the first one, then Catalonia, and then the Basque Country. And the rest, so where we are, for example, here, is some cases where we had already, I think, 9 persons dead, but it's not much compared with the mean in Spain.
Okay.
Because Spain is doing very, very bad. They are growing. The cases are growing every day exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
We are. In fact, we think we are following Italy. Italy
Yes.
is worse, but we think that we are going to arrive to the same level as Italy or more. I don't know.
Okay.
It's very strange. And today the government, because we were supposed to be at home for 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
so this past was the first week, then another week. But today the government announces that we are going to stay at least for 2 more weeks. So
Okay.
a total of 4 at least.
Okay. Let's see. So, how are you holding up? Are you all doing well?
Yes, we are. Well, by now we are doing well. Yeah, we were retired already.
Mm-hmm.
So our life is not the same as people that works. That is,
Of course.
most people here has to work from home. For us, it's a big change for us because we cannot go out, but we don't have the stress of the work to lose the job, to these things, no. But for the rest of the people, yeah, a lot of companies have been doing people they went fired
Mm-hmm.
temporarily from job, so they don't know how they are going to be paid. They don't know when this will finish. So people is a little bit worried, but okay, we have to accept and to follow the instructions.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Glad you're doing your exercises. That sounds good. Staying healthy.
Yes, but this was the program. We told you the program of the morning. In the afternoon,
Oh.
after lunch, I read.
Very good.
It's I am reading more. I never read as much as now. And then we call I call my brother here. We have an old aunt living with him. We call our children and our friends,
Mm-hmm.
and we keep in touch with them.
Very good.
And then at the end of the day, we watch news again in TV.
J'appelle mes amis de France.
Oui.
J'appelle mes amis qui sont en France.
How are they doing?
Enfin,
Or comment?
mon frère, ma famille.
Oui.
Et on se parle beaucoup.
Ah oui, très bien.
Oui, parce que en France, ils sont aussi confinés, c'est-à-dire
Oui.
qu'ils doivent aussi rester à la maison.
En France, la situation, c'est la même chose maintenant?
Oui.
Oui.
Oui, maintenant, les gens sont confinés aussi et ils doivent rester à la maison. Alors, j'ai mes amis qui restent à la maison et qui ne sortent pas du tout.
Oui.
Celles qui ont des maisons individuelles, elles peuvent sortir dans le jardin, faire un peu de jardinage et rester un peu dehors. Et celles qui sont en appartement, elles doivent rester dans l'appartement sans sortir, sauf pour aller, comme ici en Espagne, faire des courses, aller à la pharmacie, si elles doivent... la pharmacie, les courses. Ah, promener le chien, c'est autorisé.
Ah oui. Oui.
Promener le chien.
Je promène.
Mais promener le chien, mais c'est devant la maison. Hein. On ne peut pas s'éloigner des maisons d'où on habite.
Oui.
On ne peut pas aller promener son chien loin de la maison. C'est interdit. Promener le chien, faire les courses, bon, c'est à peu près tout ce qu'on peut faire. C'est très étrange. Ici,
Oui.
les rues à Rijon, les rues ici, sont
Oui.
complètement vides.
Oui.
Il y a
Oui.
pas, sauf les autobus et quelques voitures de personnes qui travaillent. C'est tout.
Oui. Tous les rues est vide ici aussi. Oui.
Oui, c'est vide aussi.
Oui.
Et Michigan.
Oui, oui. Oui, c'est volontaire maintenant, mais oui, c'est vide.
Oui.
Ah,
Ici, tous les restaurants, tous les bars, c'est fermé.
Oui, c'est
tous les
juste
restaurants, bars.
takeaway, take-out maintenant.
Non.
No, even not take out.
Oui,
Maybe the
ici,
McDonald's or
ici.
this is closed, no? No, everything is closed. The restaurants and bar, not activity at all.
Tout est fermé.
Oui.
In your case, yes, you can take food home, no?
Yes, still, dans les États-Unis, yeah, you can take food home. Oui.
Et si on sort, les normes sont très... on doit se laver les mains. On doit se laver constamment, enfin les mains en allant. Si on va acheter dans les magasins, quand on revient, on doit se laver les mains, et même variage WC, enfin plusieurs fois dans la journée. C'est toujours les
Conditions.
non, enfin les conditions. On doit être très vigilant.
Oui. Yes, because here experts say that many people, even they are not being declared infected, they can be infected because they have not been tested, no, already.
Oui.
So maybe they say maybe half of the population is or will be infected, although some of them won't have any problem. That is to say that any person you can see on the street or around you is probably infected. So you have to have in mind that if you get close to that person, you will probably be infected.
Yes, it's the same here. C'est la même chose ici.
So they only say, please do not approach any other person less than 2 meters, because this is the distance we have to respect what the experts say.
Yep, it's the same here.
And also the other thing that everybody has to be concerned is that any surface you may touch can have the virus.
Yes.
So if you go out, because you need to go to the pharmacy to buy some food. So anything, any park bench, any street light, any traffic lights, indicator panel you walls in the sidewalks can have the virus. So please do not touch, because if you touch, you can be contaminated. So that's why they say the best stay at home. So it's the rule. We try to, because now not here but in Madrid, for example, and in Barcelona, they are starting, the hospital are already collapsed.
Oui.
So they are in Madrid. They arrange a big fair building that is in the town. With they put inside, I think, 5,000 beds because in the hospital there are not more place. And also in Barcelona they arrange a big hotel downtown that is now has been converted into hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Here where we are, not yet, because we are not as much cases that Madrid or Barcelona, But the situation in Madrid is terrible for the medicines, for the sanitaries are having very bad time, yeah.
Nous avons le même problème dans les États-Unis. Nous n'avons pas beaucoup de tests, je ne sais pas le mot.
Sí,
Oui. Washington State,
yes.
New York, il y a beaucoup de problèmes avec les hôpitaux maintenant. Et oui.
Oui, et il y a aussi les gens qui n'ont pas de domicile, les homeless, non?
Homeless, yeah.
Entonces, ici en Espagne,
Oui.
ils ont agencé des édifices vides pour mettre toutes les personnes qui sont dans la rue, qui vivent dans la rue,
Oui.
pour qu'ils puissent avoir un toit et ne pas être dehors, parce qu'il faut qu'ils soient aussi confinés, c'est-à-dire les mettre dans un édifice et qu'ils ne puissent pas sortir non plus, mais qu'ils ne soient pas dehors et sin comida, enfin sans
food,
oui, sin comida, sans repas et sans pouvoir manger. C'est-à-dire qu'on leur donne à manger et on les laisse dans des édifices pour qu'ils soient surveillés et qu'ils ne sortent pas dans la rue parce qu'ils peuvent propager le virus.
Oui, c'est très difficile maintenant. Oui. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. J'espère que vous êtes sauve et santé dans le futur. Oui.
Oui. Merci.
Merci.
Toi aussi, fais attention.
Oui.
Cuídate, fais attention à ta santé aussi et ta famille aussi.
Oh, merci.
Vous devez aussi vous protéger.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
To your parents.
Yes.
And also to your dogs.
Yes. I actually think I'm going to take my dogs on a walk here soon.
Yeah, okay. Not far from home.
No. Thank you.
Oh, you're a big guy.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
All right, so now, as our final guest today on the COVID cast, I have my dad, an ER doctor, here to tell us his experience so far into the pandemic. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Henry.
Hi. All right, let's get to the questions.
Okay.
All right, so first of all, how are you holding up?
I'm doing well. So I'm a little tired. I've been working night shifts, so but I'm always tired when I'm doing that. So, but other than that, I'm feeling well.
All right, good. So what's the testing situation right now in Michigan?
Okay, so overall they're short on testing supplies. I'm not exactly sure what the limiting factor is on that, but so they have some criteria set up for who gets tested. For people who present to the emergency department with COVID-19 type symptoms like fever, cough, shortness of breath, and sore throat, there's a first of all, we try to assess for other things that might be causing that. Like you could have influenza, so we would test them for influenza A and B. And, depending on other factors, we may do some blood work and chest x-ray possibly. So after that initial workup, if we don't really find a source for their cough, fever, sore throat, then we, would consider whether this person would be a candidate for COVID-19 testing. So the state set up a hotline that you can call to help you sort through these patients. So the basic criteria are, let me see, I made some notes here. So if you have these symptoms of a coronavirus infection, like the cough, fever, shortness of breath, sore throat, and you have known contact with a person that has coronavirus, and the person that you have contact with is not a member of your family or whoever you live in close contact with, then that person would get a test. Another criteria would be anyone who's like recently traveled to a place that's from a region that's is known for coronavirus, which is pretty much everywhere these days.
Yep.
So that one's kind of
Obsolete.
out of style. But anyways, if you've been in a 14-day monitoring quarantine situation and you develop symptoms, then they would approve a test for that person. And then people who are symptomatic, who are there's public health investigations, into if there's a nursing home that's had a case, and you work at that nursing home, you would get tested.
Okay. Yep.
For example, and then patients that come in with the symptoms who are likely to infect many people or a vulnerable population, like healthcare providers, or if you work in a nursing home, that sort of situation. If you have the symptoms and you work in one of those situations, you would get tested. And then the final one would be individuals who present with these symptoms, and then for whatever reason, they're going to need to be hospitalized. So they want to make sure that when you're hospitalized, they want to make sure, they want to know whether
they don't want to be exposing. Yeah.
Right. So right now, those are the criteria for testing. So, that could change if, more tests become available or easier testing. So that's the situation as of today.
Okay. And what's the kind of lag time on these tests?
So right now, I don't know exactly, but what I've been told is like 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the numbers that we're seeing right now is about 4 or 5 days ago's tests.
Correct. And, some people seem, in Michigan, that seems to be the situation. You hear about other people getting their tests back in a day. So, I'm not sure how that's happening. But in Michigan, like 4 or 5 days.
Okay. What kind of access to personal protective equipment, PPE, do you have right now?
Okay. So for someone presenting to the emergency department with just kind of a cough and fever, the initial recommendations are to do droplet precaution, or kind of an enhanced droplet precaution, which includes a simple surgical mask, not an N95 mask, and then eye protection like a face shield or goggles, and a gown and gloves. So as far as all those things go, like I have not seen a shortage. We've been able to have a surgical mask, plenty of those available in my experience. And the face shields, I think, are probably in a little bit shorter supply. I've been fortunate to get a pair of kind of like lab goggles that I can use. So that helped. The other, they have like the throwaway. Well, they're not really throwaway, but they're not as sturdy, I guess, and would probably break down after probably. I don't know how many times you could use that, but you're supposed to wipe down the face shields after each use. Mm-hmm. And so anyways, for the droplet precautions, it seems as though there's in my experience, no shortage of gowns, gloves, surgical masks, or face shields at this time. For aerosolized precautions or airborne precautions, now that requires an N95 mask or what they call a PAPR or
an alien suit.
Yeah, an alien suit, basically. So that's an acronym for Powered Air Purifying Respirator, a PAPR. So it's basically a kind of a helmet with a kind of a filtering air supply to the sealed off helmet that you wear. So anyway, so we do have access to those, and the PAPRs are good because you can, they're reusable. You just have to clean them in between each patient. Now the N95 masks those are what's in shortage. So that they're guarded pretty closely. They're locked away in what we call the Pyxis. So to get those, requires, you have to, I guess, put in an order, and the nurse accesses that for you. But those have been in shorter supply, and so that would be the biggest shortage, I guess. And in my opinion, they say that COVID-19 is spread by droplets, mm-hmm. But and they think it could be aerosolized. That's per the CDC, possibly airborne. So my guess is it's probably airborne, and they just said that just because we don't have enough supplies. That's my hunch, but so anyway,
okay. Yeah. So how many extra patients do you think the hospital system can handle right now in the region?
Well, I think as far as if you're talking about patients who are going to require ventilator support, I don't know the exact number, but I think we probably have the ability to take care of about 10 patients based on ventilators and BiPAP machines, which is a positive pressure oxygenation. So right now the volumes are pretty low as far as people coming into the emergency department. We're kind of feeling like it's the calm before the storm. So I mean, we don't have a lot of reserve, but so we at the moment, we're doing pretty well. That could change very quickly, and it wouldn't take too long to exceed our capacity.
Okay. Let's see here. Could you explain the difference? I know you mentioned this the other day between like the dirty hospitals or that sort of thing.
Sure. So right now, there's an attempt to try to concentrate the people who have coronavirus to certain campuses. So, for example, the Munson healthcare system is currently, I'm not sure how many total hospitals we have, maybe like 8 hospitals, but so instead of having coronavirus patients at every campus. What they're doing is basically they've made 3 hospitals COVID-19 hospitals where they'll initially take care of these patients. If the volume were to exceed the capacity of those 3 hospitals, then I think the other hospitals would have to take these patients. But so the initial attempt is to just have a few hospitals that are clear of coronavirus or have a decreased chance of having that at their facility. And so that makes like doing routine procedures or emergency procedures, like let's say you had appendicitis, they would try to get you to one of the cleaner the clean hospitals to have your appendix taken out, for example.
All right. Let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to let people know about? Like when should they go to the emergency room if they think they have COVID-19 or if they have symptoms, or what they should do?
Sure. So the symptoms of COVID-19 infection, I know I've said it a lot of times, but it's fever, cough, shortness of breath, sore throat. So the recommendations are, if you're moderately to mildly sick, you should just stay home and try to take some Tylenol, drink plenty of fluid, and kind of see how it goes. So if you do feel like you need to talk to a doctor or see a doctor, you should try to call your healthcare provider before you visit any healthcare facility. And you should not go to the emergency department or urgent care unless you're sick enough to require emergency care. And I know that's hard for people to know what that is, but if you can try, I guess I would say if you're really short of breath, that's obvious. But if you have a kind of feel achy, fever, sore throat, definitely want to try to you want to stay home, and if you need, you should definitely run it by your doctor before going to an urgent care or emergency room. So that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Dad. Thanks for answering some questions.
Okay, you're welcome.
I hope you're doing well. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Henry.
Yep.
Nice job.
Thanks for coming on the cast.
Okay, thank you, Henry.
All right, so I just want to thank my dad, my sister, my sister's in-laws, and everyone for coming on the cast today. It was really nice of them to take some time out of their day to talk about this pandemic with me. So thanks to all of them. No update on the numbers for me tonight. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. But everyone just remember, keep social distancing. And I hope you've had a super Sunday.